guys, gonna make a little video today on how to stiffen up your transmission mount. This will also work with motor mounts too, but I'm not going to be doing that today, and I'm sure you can do it on your differential bushings too. But basically I'm on my way to get some type of plastic epoxy and a couple other things, and pretty much, I don't know, I mean, y'all may or may not know what the trans mount looks like, but it's basically rubber, like a trapezoid shaped rubber that's hollow in the middle, and basically we're going to be filling out the hollow part with plastic epoxy and letting it sit and cure. And epoxy, the one I'm using will be ADA. I don't know exactly what that is, but I know it's basically how stiff it is whenever it's cured. And ADA is just about as stiff as like the Megan Racing polyurethane transmission mounts. So anyways, I'll be at the store in a minute to get some epoxy, and then when I get home I'll show you all, one, how to take the trans mount off, and then how we're going to fill this in. And it's a pretty simple process, but I'll show it on the video, and then I'll post my review too of how much it improved. But I'll be back in a little bit. Damn, I got what is that, a Corolla? Somebody parked next to me thinking that was cool. Anyways, give me a Coca-Cola. Prefer Dr. Pepper, but apparently Ace doesn't care Dr. Pepper, so we're going to do this project with Coca-Cola. But let me show y'all what I got. This is JB Weld quick setting epoxy. This one, I looked up the specs online, and 8A, which is going to be just about as stiff as the Megan Racing trans mount. By the way, I spent $35 on this. I got 4 of those. Well, let me correct myself. I got 3 of those because all I had was 3. So the other one I got is Loctite. Pretty similar. It's not as the other one's rated for 4,400 PSI. This one says 3,400. So I'm thinking this one probably go in the middle, mixed with everything else. But yeah, and then just some regular old duct tape. So I'll head home in a minute. Figured I'll let y'all see all that. Yep. All right, well, get home, and then I'll get started on this and show y'all how we're gonna do this. Alright guys, so here's what we got right now. Car's up on jack stands, and got the transmission supported by the jack to get some of the load off of this bushing. Let me get situated. Alright guys, so basically what we're doing, we're removing these 4 bolts for the cross member. Those are 14 millimeters. There's 4 down here that are 12 millimeter, and then going to the transmission itself, there's 4 that are also 14 millimeter. Alright, so here it is guys, the factory bushing soft rubber. You can see the flex there. It moves. Try to show y'all. Side to side pretty easily. It seems like the BK1 is a little bit softer and less designed, but anyways, I'm going to show y'all the next step. First thing we should probably do is degrease it. and get a lot of this off so it'll bond. All right guys, so here it is. You can see I could have used a little bit more epoxy, but that's all I had, and I think that's still going to be a lot better than how it was stock. I can't hardly compress it by hand anymore. So anyways, basically what I did, wrap tape around, just a whole bunch of tape around, make sure it's not going to leak out, and then fill in from the top. And actually, first I did it with the mount laying on its side, and I wrapped around this way, and I was going to fill in this way, but that didn't work. So going around this way on top seemed to work better. And I ended up using 9 things of epoxy, just like this. They're like 0.85 ounces. I bought 4 originally, but I had to run back to the store and get some more. But yeah, as you can see, it's a lot more solid now than it was before. Could take the time to clean some of this up and file it down and make it look pretty, but no one's getting under my car, so I really don't care. This stuff's pretty solid. I feel like it's going to shift a lot better, but I'm going to get it back installed on the car and then go for a drive. All right guys, this is my first initial test drive after installing the epoxy filled mount. Can't do any pulls on this road. It's not really dirt, but just kind of like gravel with oil on top, and yeah, it's just a shitty road. It's where I live. But initially, I do feel quite a bit more vibration in the car. Nothing crazy because my car already vibrates a lot from my exhaust. So I think maybe if I had a cat back on with mufflers, it would be a lot more noticeable. But I really need to do a 1 to 2 pull, and because that's where it's really going to matter. And I'm sure with a short shifter on, it would make a lot more of a difference. But I'm going to go drive around and test it out and let y'all know what I think, if it's worth spending the $50 on the epoxy in a couple hours of time, or if it's just better to... I don't have any personal experience with the Megan mount, but from what I've heard, I know it's good. I was just going to try and see if this would suffice for half the cost. But I'll be back in a minute and let y'all know what I think. Alright guys, my initial thoughts, I'm absolutely fucking blown away, to be honest. I do notice a lot more vibration now that I'm at about 55 miles an hour, and I'm sure it just gets worse all the way up to highway speeds and beyond. But one thing to keep in mind, this has only been set in about 2 hours. This epoxy I use takes about 4 hours for a full cure. So it's not completely hardened up all the way yet. It's pretty stiff, but not fully cured yet all the way through. But yeah, I mean, I did about 5 or 6 digs, like actual digs from a dead stop. Did not miss a single 1 to 2 shift. I'm actually chirping into 2nd gear now, and no lift shifts are smooth as butter. I mean, before doing a dig, I would miss about I don't know, maybe 2 out of 3. Not miss, but miss about 1 out of 3 shifts on 1 to 2, just because being locked out, especially if the tires were spinning. I tried launching from a couple of different RPM ranges, got some tire spin on all of them, or not all of them, but a couple of them, and yeah, I mean, it's way better than it was before. Obviously I can't compare this to the Megan mount, I've never used it, but man, I am blown away with how much of an improvement this made. And especially for 50 bucks. I mean, but yeah, I highly recommend doing this before getting a Megan mount, because it's about half the price. Or if you just like the cleanliness of the Megan mount and got a little bit more money to throw around, go for it. But I'm trying to save as much as I can right now to start putting towards putting the big turbo on. So anyways, yeah, it's phenomenal. I did a couple quarter-mile pulls going by my bully dog, which I know isn't 100% accurate, but I've shaved probably about a half a second off my quarter-mile time, and I don't know how much about on my 60 foot, but I know it's better. And yeah, so y'all check this mod out. Maybe I'll hit y'all up with more in the future DIY mods, or I'm thinking about doing the motor mounts and the diff bushings. I don't know if I'm going to mess with the diff bushings. They look like a pain to do with this this approach, but the motor mounts I'll definitely be doing, because they're kind of similar to the trans mount. But alright, y'all, please subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at Henny_. No. Follow me on Instagram at genocide_coupe. Alright, appreciate it, guys.